Okay, we're good now.
Excellent. Well, let's share victories first. Who got to use some of their homework last week and maybe had some great results?
Anybody want to go? I can go. My victory from last week, I did have one enrollment, but I promoted 2 consultants.
Nice.
And yes. So I am 3 enrollments away from having an executive.
Way to go. Very good.
Woohoo!
Very, very good. Excellent.
Yes.
Anybody else with a new connection or maybe use the top-down product line description already? Anybody?
This is Janice. I had a good week last week. I wasn't on the last call. I was in New York City on vacation and didn't listen to the recording of the call until just the other day. So I'm kind of, need to get into that. But I did have my best week actually last week. I enrolled 4 new people and one of those people already promoted to a consultant. So, and I hit my 5 cycle for the first time. Actually, I hit 6 cycles, but I got that extra bonus. So I had a really, really great week.
That's a very good week when someone hands you an extra $250. That's a great week.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep. And this is Sharon, and I had a great week last week also. I enrolled, I think 2 or 3, but I also hit my 5 cycle bonus for the first time, so that was very exciting. And I have a launch party tonight and then one next week. And so, yeah, and I've already enrolled 1 this week. So it's moving forward. I really enjoyed watching the Evolved Economy link that you gave us. I think that's awesome. And I haven't done the script yet from starting at the Business Builder Pack, but loved the concept last week, so I'm excited to put that into action.
And by the way, we share that at launch parties. When we do a product line description at a launch party, we just use the script and start from the top and go down.
Right. So I have another one tonight, so I am planning on doing that tonight.
Excellent.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Very good.
And I think that we're the only 3 on the call. Is that right, Sarah?
1, 2.
Oh.
I'm here, Diana. I actually got to make it in today, so this is my first time to actually be live on the call, so I'm excited.
Excellent. Now, we normally talk about the 6 touches in the first 30 days on this call. Would you rather that I skip forward and taught the basics of a launch party first?
Yes, please.
Would that be okay if I change the order?
Yes.
Totally.
That would be great, actually.
Okay. Launch parties are really important. Probably the person we've been able to help the most with it was Delray Messner. She used our launch party model as a core for her build, and she went from 1-star to 5-star last year just by having a lot of launch parties and different kinds of launch parties. Now, unfortunately, there is a fixation with opportunity meetings instead of launch parties. And the problem with that is that opportunity meetings are not great enrolling tools. They're great ways to show people the bigger vision of what the business can be, but per capita, the enrollments are really low. But they also portray something that isn't true about the business, and that is that you've got to be a public speaker in order to be an Isogenics business builder. And nothing could be farther from the truth. A great enroller isn't a public speaker. And the launch party isn't based on public speaking. It's a much more intimate setting of sharing versus a speaker. At the end of a launch party, everybody at that launch party should be coming to the same conclusion. Heck, I could do this. It shouldn't be, oh my soul, she stood in front of all those people and talked for 20 minutes. I couldn't do that. That's the wrong message, and it's not a truthful message. If you're not sure in it, if you've never read it, read the book My First Year in Network Marketing by Mark Yarnell. It's one of the earliest books about network marketing out there. It's in its second or third publication right now. And in it, he talks very passionately about never giving up on the launch party model and never turning to this must be a professional presentation model, because it'll actually reduce your enrollments. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
So our launch parties are way shorter than you imagine. Our model is a much shorter party. In fact, we've been able to prove that if you'll keep your party shorter, you'll actually quadruple your on-site enrollments. We've done this because we've gone with and helped people who are, one of our original millionaires. And no one ever enrolled at their launch parties, but their launch parties were 90 minutes long. Well, we cut them down to 35 minutes, and our first week doing it, 4 President's Packs. Because it was obvious that the enrollment was built into the launch party. People still think hour to hour. So if they see you stop talking at the 35-minute mark, the conclusion they come to is, wow, we've got time to taste test this stuff and join. Why don't we just do that if it tastes any good? She said it only took 10 minutes to join. And that's what they do. Where if you only talk for 10 or 15 minutes more, the conclusion is the exact opposite. Oh, well, she didn't leave us time to join, so maybe she expects us to just taste test it, go home and think about it, and contact her later on. Well, that's not what we want them to do. And it's the length of the party that actually determines what conclusion they come to. It's actually that simple. Could you see how that could be true?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the party's short, 35 minutes. We'd like you to be taste testing some of the stuff. And it's inspirational more than informational. So not a lot of science talk at our inspirational launch parties. It's mostly an emotional support to the idea of them trying the product. So there's like a 5-layer dip of the recipe for an inspirational launch party. The first layer is the most important. And right out the gate, at the beginning of an inspirational launch party, we start with 2 back-to-back product testimonials. And they're based specifically on 3 core verbs. I felt, I love, and I am. Now, the felt part is very much on purpose. If you are too specific with your medical details and numbers and weights and all that kind of stuff, it may be an amazing testimonial, but it will also ostracize some of your audience that your condition isn't their condition. They stop listening. If a guy gets up at the front of the room and says, I was 60 pounds overweight, and I was a type 2 diabetic, and I had gout in my big toe. Well, that's a cool story, Bubba, but the skinny chick in the front row, she just stopped listening. She's checking her Facebook. Right? You lost her.
Yeah.
Because she thinks gout disappeared in the Middle Ages. She didn't know people still have gout. But Bubba could say, I had a really challenging relationship with food. I was discouraged and overwhelmed. Didn't know what to eat, how much to eat, how often to eat. And because of that, I would have spikes and valleys in my health. But Isogenics gave me a brand new relationship with food. Well, that is Bubba with gout in his big toe and the skinny chick in the front row. Everybody's still listening. Can you see how the feelings can be that important?
Yes.
So you guys tell me, how did you feel before you started enjoying Isogenics?
Stressed out, tired, and didn't want to get out of bed.
Energy is the #1 answer to that question. We talk about weight so much in Isogenics, yet the number one thing that people are trying to improve is their energy level. We don't talk about it enough.
Nope.
Do we?
No. I don't know. I do.
So,
Yeah, that's
good.
That's my main thing. Yeah.
Good. Stay on it. Stay on it. What are some other ways you might be able to say you felt?
Tired of trying different diets that were hard to follow, or being too busy to make all the different strange foods they want you to make?
Absolutely. Overwhelmed, discouraged, overinformed and underactivated. All those feelings of frustration that are really kind of nutty, aren't they?
Yes.
Now, when we do that, we now have the audience with us because we're talking what they're going through. Now they're listening to the next verb. Now, the next verb is different than maybe how you've talked about the products, but we're trying to make it clear that we're just talking about food. And when we talk about food, we organically talk about certain foods that we love. And that's what we do at an inspirational launch party. We pick one product that we love more than any other product in the catalog. We say what flavor do we love it in, and how does that product experience fit into our life. So we're going to play a little game. You each get to say that about one product, but as soon as one of you picks that product's off the table. No one else can pick that product. So, ready, set, go.
I like the chocolate shakes because I know what I'm having for my 2 meals. It doesn't make it overwhelming to fix lunch and breakfast, and it tastes like chocolate mousse, and I love chocolate mousse.
There you go. Excellent. The other day I was thinking, Isogenics is so much flavors and foods that, I don't know, it sounds like it was created by Dennis the Menace. It sounds like a diet that was made by 11-year-old. Let's have a chocolate shake for lunch and breakfast. Okay, what can we have for a snack? A chocolate bar. Really? And this is good for you. Wow. Right? I just picture John Anderson with a bib overall with one thing hanging down and the little freckles on his face and his hair, and says, this is the Dennis the Menace diet.
That is hilarious.
Well, think how much of our food, though, it would be created by an 11-year-old. What are we going to have on our cleanse days? More chocolate. And if you need a snack, here's a bag of chips. Eat a bag of chips. Are chips okay? Chips are great for you. Oh, what happens if you're sick of chocolate? Oh, then we'll make a strawberry shake. Oh, okay. The Dennis the Menace diet by Isogenics.
That's great.
So chocolate shakes are off the table. Someone pick another one you love.
I'll go next. This is
Okay.
Janet. I love the Isoline bar chocolate peanut crunch flavor. It's just perfect for on the go if you need a quick lunch while you're driving or whatever. And I always carry one in my purse. I just love it.
Nice. You've got a meal in your purse at all times, and you're not tempted to give in to the dreaded drive-through window.
Right. I'm going to go next.
Okay.
Oh, darn.
My favorite is the E-Shot, and I love it because right before a workout, I can get an extra step, a pep in my step, and I can also use it as a pick-me-up in the morning if I'm feeling sluggish. It's all natural and has adaptogens, helps with stress, so it's overall a winner.
Now, do you ever follow the instructions and put half of the E-Shot under your tongue and hold it there for 20 seconds?
No.
Did you know that was an instruction?
No. I do that with the sleep spray.
Okay, well, it's the same reason the sleep spray works.
It absorbs better.
It absorbs better. So you shake it up, put half of it in your mouth, hold it under your tongue for 20 seconds, swallow it, put the other half, hold it under your tongue for 20 seconds and swallow it, and it actually amplifies the effect.
Really?
Yeah.
Read those directions, yeah.
Well, they make the writing on the bottle really small, so.
Yeah, that is true. Although it keeps getting smaller year after year, I bet.
Yes, my arm must be getting shorter too because I can't seem to extend it far enough to get it. You know, if you reach out your arm and close one eye and you are wearing glasses and it still doesn't work.
Yep.
That's been my situation lately. I've got bifocals on and I still can't see that sucker. Let me find who printed this so I can punch him in the throat. Come on, get a bigger letter.
Okay,
If you
so
put a second pair of glasses over your bifocals, it does work. Just saying.
Oh, so I'll just have to buy a second pair of glasses.
Just get a little dollar store pair of glasses, and it works. You can read everything that way.
Oh, there we go. I have a bunch of those because I like
There
to
you
lie
go.
in bed and read, and I don't want to squish my real glasses. That's a good idea. See the things I learned from you guys. Nice.
okay, so I'm looking at
Okay.
the hot bottle real quick, and it
Yeah.
says, for fast-acting and long-lasting benefit, consume the entire bottle. For maximum enjoyment, hold in the mouth and savor the taste. It does not say how long.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And
I
it
had-
says enjoyment. It doesn't say for a good effect. It says enjoyment.
Yeah.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
PK,
Maybe I got.
glasses.
No, I might have got that instruction from Suk Cho. I had dinner with Suk Cho one time, and he was giving me little secrets. That might be an underground secret. I'm sorry, I should have told you.
Well, now we know. The secret's out of the bag.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody important told me that. I remember. I think it was Suk.
Pretty important.
Yeah. I never know what. Like, I will sometimes say things from the stage, and people will say, we're not allowed to say that yet. Why? That hasn't been revealed yet. Well, I know it. Yeah, but you're not supposed to know it. You're not supposed to say it into the microphone. Oh, okay. Well, just forget what I just said about that product, okay? Because it isn't really happening. I lied. I never know whether the stuff I know I'm allowed to say, so I just say it anyway. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
By the way, when you're driving, take a regular bottle of water, take a sip out of it, put the E-shot in it, and then sip the water. That's good for 6 or 7 hours of driving for me.
Very nice.
Yeah, because I don't need a full E-shot in order to drive, or I'll drive too fast.
Well, and my husband's he usually does monsters when we travel, so I'm not going to let him do that anymore. It's E-shot or nothing. So
E-shot in a bottle of water, he can sip it, yep. And we just did the drive back from El Paso. That's 32 hours, so.
Karen, I think.
Now, has everybody shared the product they love? Has anybody hidden?
I haven't done mine yet. So this is
Okay.
Sharon. I love the Ionic Supreme. It, I love the liquid version because I can just fill up my shot glass and drink it quickly in the morning, and it sets me up for a day full of energy.
Wow, so you actually like the liquid.
Well, I only like the liquid because I can do it quickly. I didn't say I like the flavor.
Oh, I was wondering, because, man, it tastes like a squirrel's butt.
Yeah, but, so I didn't say I liked flavor, right? I said I liked
That's true. That's true.
I
That's true.
make it quickly.
Mm-hmm. Shoot it.
Yeah, the taste of that Ionics is why some really good God-fearing people out there in Isogenics have shot glasses in their kitchen.
That's what I fill up. And if people complain about it, I say to them, you know what? If you can drink a shot of whiskey, you can drink a shot of Ionic Supreme.
Oh, yes, it's way
Well, that doesn't sound like a very Baptist solution. Good times. I like the powder flavor, and I mix it up with ice and water and drink it. I really like it that way. My wife drinks it as a tea. Now, when do you take your Ionics? What part of your day is the Ionics a part of your day?
You told me that I could only, in my example, that I could only choose one flavor. So I really do both. I do the Ionics in the morning, and then at night I make it as a warm tea, and I drink it before I go to bed, and it helps me sleep like a baby. I love the flavor when it's in the tea. But you could only pick one.
Well, no, I said you could only pick one product. I didn't say how many ways you could take it.
Oh, I thought you said pick one product and one flavor. I feel like those are two different flavors.
No, all the same gig, all the same thing.
Okay, so when I do talk about it normally, I say I love it because it comes in liquid, which I can drink quickly in the morning when I'm in a hurry, and it sets me up for the day. But my favorite thing is at night. I drink it as a tea before I go to bed, and it helps me sleep like a baby.
Nice. That's a great testimonial. Great testimonial.
So I can use both of those. So when I'm talking
Yes,
ionic
you can.
sleep, it's still okay to use both. Okay.
Yeah, both of them, absolutely.
And then I say sometimes in the day if I'm stressing out, I just go find my shot glass and have one more shot.
We asked one mom, she had 3 boys under the age of 8. I said, so when do you take your ionics? She said, 6:30 in the morning before the little buggers get up, and then 2:30 in the afternoon when the little buggers get off the bus.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, it's stopping you from committing a homicide. Yes, it is. I've got 3 boys under 8.
Yeah, and I even say sometimes, and if they made it as a bubble bath, I'd be in it every night.
Well, just give that idea to Dennis the Menace. He'll come up with an idea for it. Now, did you notice that we get lots of energy and excitement when we get to talk about the products we love?
Mm-hmm.
It's a completely different energy than the inform energy. Let me tell you what's in it. No, let me tell you what it's like when it's in me. Because that's much more tantalizing for a guest to hear than just a science lesson about how ionics interacts with your body. They don't want to hear what's in it. They want to hear what you're like when it's in you. That's why we talk about how we love it. Now, the third verb, the I am, is something we don't talk about enough in our product testimonials. And it's simply that all of us have had a product transformation of some kind, and because of it, all of us are enjoying life in a new way, in a particular fashion, because of our product experience. And it might be something we are doing for the first time, or the first time in a long time, something that has kind of been reinvented because of the improved health and vitality we're enjoying because of our product experience. Now, can any of you think of some areas that look like that for you?
Yeah, the sleeping part.
What's that sleeping part do for you?
Now, as when you're doing this, do you say how it was before, or just now?
You could. Oh, yeah, you're going to do a comparison. Yeah, you're going to do a comparison. Sure, absolutely, yeah.
So before Isogenics, I was dragging and tired, and I'd wake up in the morning and didn't want to get out of bed. But now, what am I using? But now I am sleeping like a baby and ready to jump out of bed and full of energy each morning.
Perfect. That's a perfect I am. Because you'll have people in the audience who have sleep issues, who are dragging through the day, and they'll go, I don't know what it tastes like, but I want whatever gets her to feel the way she just felt, because I want that. Anybody else? Something that's different about you, the I am.
Hi, everyone. This is Janice. Before Isogenics, I always had belly aches since I was a child, actually, and it carried into adulthood. And now, after consuming the Isogenics products, my belly feels great every day.
Nice. Nice.
I'm gonna do my before Isogenics. I was always prepping food and spending a lot of time in the kitchen. So now I don't have to worry about that. I don't have the stress of worrying about going to the grocery store or making food for days on end. I have my food ready because I just have shakes. Fabulous.
Yeah, it gives the average mom an extra hour a day of not prepping or consuming a couple meals. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Yeah, at least, because then you got to go buy it first. So yeah, at least an hour a day. It's a big deal.
PK, when people bring that up, when they say, yeah, but I still have to feed my kids, what is your response to that?
Well, that's true, but some of our time is also just some of our meals we eat by ourselves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, unless it's a mom that has, like, well, I think, Tiana, you're a good example of that. You know, she has young kids at home, so she's drinking her shake, you know, and fixing food for a kid, and I'm just wondering, you know, I don't know what a good response is for that.
Well, but the average mom doesn't take time to actually have a good meal because they are too busy preparing that meal for their kids.
I totally agree. It's so easy for me just to grab a shake while I'm cutting up food and putting it on her tray for the baby to eat while I'm home with her, and I don't have to think, okay, now what am I going to warm up for me? Because there are so many times I would skip a meal because I was trying to get her stuff done and not able to do mine, but I can just make a shake in 5 seconds now.
Absolutely. Yeah. It really does give an extra hour, and you go, well, yeah, but they still got their kids. I know, so now well, in most cases, they just don't eat. A mom will not eat because, you know, it's like, can you please come home so I can have a shower? Why? Because I got this human being that won't let go of me, right?
Exactly.
Do those 3 verbs make sense to you, how we want to keep this inspirational and quite emotionally encouraging?
It's almost like the feel, felt, sound.
Yep, it is. Yep.
Is it the same thing, just using different words? Because I think that threw me, having felt be first. But so is it basically the feel, felt, sound thing, just different words?
Well, it's the same in that the feel, felt, found is trying to be emotional, but we're trying to deliberately use emotionally charged words. For instance, if someone were to say, I only like a shake, I'd say, well, tell me about the one you love. Why? I don't care about what you like. What do you love?
Okay.
Right? Imagine being able to turn up the emotional volume of your statement.
Okay.
That's what we're trying to do. Turn up the emotional volume, because we know that choosing to invest in your health with an Isogenics pack isn't an intellectual decision. It's an emotional decision. So speak to the part of the person that's actually going to make the decision.
Mm.
And it's why, even though we've had people take out describing the 5 pillars of health, everyone's excited to go test drive the product. Why? Because you told them which one you loved. And they care more about what you love than what you know. Much more a stronger catalyst for taking action is inspiration over information. And this is hard for some people because we really have become data strong in Isogenics, not knowing that, for one, that excludes a lot of people who don't feel they can memorize all that stuff, but also it doesn't move the meter as much as an emotional testimonial does. Now, the proof is quite simple. 82% of people enrolled in Isogenics are enrolled by people who've been doing this for less than a year, which means they don't know anything. They only have that enthusiasm paired together with a fair amount of stupidity. And yet they enroll way more people than anybody else, right?
That would be most of us on this call. Sarah, I don't know how long you've been in, but I know that me and Janice and Cheyenne have been in less than 4 months. You want to stay that excitement and don't switch over to, well, here I've got to get my professional voice in and act like I'm a scientist and tell you all the ingredients and the stuff. Nobody cares. It doesn't move the needle. Doesn't move the needle. Stay excited. Stay emotionally charged. Stay enthusiastic. Don't try to sound like a nutritionist or a scientist or a doctor. Why? It doesn't work. Doesn't work. So we do 2 of those back to back. I felt I love I am. I felt I love I am. And then right after that, the next layer down, the second ingredient, is an inspirational product video. Now, this is a little challenging because a lot of Isogenics' videos are very informational. And some of them are just downright scary. So it isn't a time when we'd show, are you toxic? It's probably the biggest ones we're leaning to these days are all of the great Isobody challenge videos that are out there. And I don't know if you've ever done it. If you go to YouTube
and type in IsaBody Challenge or IsaBody Finalist, there are about 50 videos on YouTube that are all approved of by Isagenix, so they're not allowed to use that moniker. They're 3 minutes or less. They're all compliant, and they're all extremely inspirational, but on different subjects. They all aren't weight loss. Some are healthy aging. Some are athletic performance. There's a good variety of them, and it's almost like you've introduced directly from Isagenix another testimonial for people to experience. Have any of you ever gone on YouTube and scoped those out before?
Yes.
No,
Yes?
I have not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
They're a great resource. They really are.
So if your story is on energy, then you do an IsaBody on weight loss, or
Yes, mix it up. Yep, absolutely.
So if you're at someone else's home or something, do you just like bring an iPad and show it on that?
Actually, a lot of modern TVs today have HDMI cables in the back. You can pull it up on a laptop and just plug it into their TV, and it'll show right on their TV.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Or actually, most people have smart TVs today. You could just go onto YouTube on their TV and find it.
That's true, but I'd have to get my kids to help me with that.
I know at one of our places where we did it, we just used an Xbox. We used the Xbox to go on YouTube. It was already connected to the TV.
Diana, I've even had us all sit around a little, laptop too. I mean, again, it has to be professional.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't. But with smart TVs, it has got it a lot simpler. I mean, I have one TV hooked up to an Xbox. My other TV is a smart TV. I can just switch over to YouTube from a remote. A lot easier from the days when we used to have to get projectors and slideshows and all that kind of foolishness. Ooh. Now let's speak to the length of videos for a second, please. Please do not show long videos at your launch party. Long videos will suck the living life out of the room. It's weird, unless you're enrolling the Amish, for people to come to a stranger's house, sit on a stranger's couch, beside another stranger to watch a 12-minute video. They could be in their pajamas at home doing that. So don't do that. Keep them
and what
short.
What do you call long, PK?
6 minutes is about as long as I'll go.
Okay.
And yes, that means there's a lot of videos we can't use because of it. And I've been telling them for years, guys, these aren't suitable for launch parties. You lose the room. So that's why the Isagenix difference is only 6 minutes long. I whined. But it's important, if you're at a launch party and you see people starting to check their phones for any reason, it means they aren't interested in this long video anymore. And in a living room, as soon as one person checks their phone physically, everyone else checks their phone mentally. You've lost the room. So keep your videos shorter, 3 to 6 minutes. Does that make sense, what we're trying to keep that energy up?
Yes.
Now, right after that inspirational product video, we would share what we call a silly success story. And all it is a kind of a self-deprecating story where you were kind of surprised when you got the email from Isagenix. You'd signed up a couple people, but you had no idea that it would end up being that great of an email. And it's to illustrate that, we don't always know what we're doing and we can succeed without really knowing. Now, do any of you have a silly success story about being shocked at a weekly email?
No, I don't.
I remember calling my sponsor after just a couple of weeks and crying, and she couldn't understand me. And I said, "Why did I just get paid $500?"
Yeah, and you're thinking, how do I return it?
No, I was not thinking that. Sorry, PK, but I was not.
We had a gal, the very first time she used the script, she signed up 4 President's Packs in a week. The only problem was she can sign up people to President's Packs, but she'd never heard of a double PIB. So she did 4 times 80, right? So she's expecting maybe $300-400. Well, it turns out to be 4 times 160. It was $700. And she called up her upline and said, they've made a mistake. Well, they don't make mistakes. Actually, they did. They're off by $400. Well, no, they didn't. You just don't know all the ways you get paid. Oh, come on. I understand how the plan goes. And when she figured it out, she had no idea what a double PIB was. Good thing we don't need to know in order for them to send the check, huh?
Right?
Yeah.
I was in Atlanta, Georgia, and in front of 100 people, I told a story about these dumb people from Alabama who thought that their Visa card was a gift card, so they threw it out after they spent the money. And everybody laughed. 100 people laughing their head off, right? And then this couple from the back row says, yeah, that was us, PK. We're sitting back here. I hadn't seen them in the room. And I felt awful. I physically turned red in front of everyone. And Mike says, oh, don't worry, PK. We tell that same story exactly the same way every time. The dumb people from Alabama. Oops. I heard about one recently, though, that it wins the Oscar. A gal had been building really passionately, but had never spent any of the money, and she'd never even checked what was on the card. And she'd been building for a while, never spent a cent of it. And her husband says to her, look, I don't want this foolishness with Isagenix messing up the rest of our accounts. Well, I want you to go to town today and put whatever's on that card in a private business account to you. I don't want our house implicated with this. She says, okay, honey, I will. So she goes to the bank, opens a business account, says, can you just transfer what's on this card? And he said, well, how much is on there? She says, I don't know. I've never checked it. He says, you're opening a business account and you don't know what's on it? She says, no, I don't. My husband told me to, so I am. And so he did, and it turned out to be $55,000.
Holy Nike.
Wow.
And she laughed the whole way home. Yeah, honey, I took care of that pesky money, so I just put it in an account that only I can access. You know, I'm just a loving, submissive wife. I only do what you ask me to do. By the way, I got $55,000 in my account. Good times.
So if those silly stories of our own, do we use somebody else's?
Yeah, borrow somebody else's, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as they're silly. You know, one of my mentees, she was building, but she didn't really know she was building because she was a chiropractor. And she would just say to her patients, I'm doing a monthly cleanse. Who wants to join me? Well, she enrolled like 90 people in 3 months. But she didn't actually enroll any of them. Her administrator at the front desk did. So it turns out they were one of the top enrollers in Canada, and they were winning an Isagenix cruise. Well, Kathy isn't great at answering her emails or even reading them. At one point, she literally had 3,000 unopened emails. So they didn't hear anything back, so they finally called the house, and they get a hold of her husband, Brad. And they said, Mr. Strauss, you and Kathy have won this Isabody cruise. And he says, we didn't apply for any contest. You got the wrong number. She says, no, there's no contest. You're a top enroller in Isagenix. And he says, we're just drinking the stuff. We're not even doing the business. You have the wrong number. And he hung up on them. And it did turn out they won the cruise. But he had no idea they were building the business. And frankly, Kathy didn't either. Didn't have a clue.
Wow. That's awesome.
Dum-de-dum-dum-dum.
PK, I have a question.
Sure.
How come Isagenix says that they won the cruise instead of earned the cruise? Is that like a compliance thing?
I don't know.
Because you can win the lottery just by buying a ticket, earning means you worked for it. I just find that odd.
I don't know. But I do know that we have a raft of lawyers that try to keep us out of trouble, so there's probably a reason.
Yeah, I thought maybe there might be. That's why I was wondering if you knew.
Well, the thing is if anything is a contest, There are really strong legal words about how people are awarded things. So that might be why, because there's a whole scam side of contests. So that may be why. There's some lawyer somewhere that says you can't use that verb.
Hmm.
That was a nice way of me saying I don't have a clue.
Yeah, I got that. You're good at that.
Now, after the silly success story, we like to share an inspirational opportunity video. As we've shared before, our two favorites are that little 3-minute montage from startyourlife.com or the Isagenix difference. They're inspirational. It isn't you plus two, them plus two time. This is just kind of sharing the vision of what can be in a soft, soft touch. So either the Start Your Life opening montage or the Isagenix difference.
What did you call this section?
This is the inspirational opportunity video. So we've shared a silly success story about the opportunity, and now we're going to share just an inspirational video to back it up and fortify it.
And I don't think that our group has talked about these videos.
Oh, you're right, because we skipped week 3. My bad. Sorry. Yep, I got them in the wrong order. Yep. On week 3, I would have talked to you about these 2 videos. When we're sharing inspirational videos, we have to make sure that they're lighter touches. They aren't instructional, now you sign up to and then they sign up to. This isn't the place for that yet. This is just a lighter touch of what could be should you choose to get your products paid for. If you've never watched it, please go to startyourlife.com. And the opening video that opens when that site is first opened is this little 3-minute musical montage of all the different families in the Start group whose lives have been changed because of Isagenix. It's a very inspirational video. Have any of you seen that one before?
No.
Is it the sister and brother?
No. This is a whole bunch of different groups. This is different pictures of different families. It's not a singular thing, no.
I think I have.
The other one is the Isagenix difference. Now, the reason we like that one is for one specific testimonial that's highlighted, and it's Dr. Rick Lee. He's also a mentee of mine. He clearly states that even though he is an Isagenix millionaire, he is still a practicing chiropractor, which is important because we don't want to portray that you have to pick network marketing and Isagenix over your career in business. They can be done at the same time. Otherwise, we'll be challenging everyone's identity as to their career, their calling, or their business of choice. We don't want to do that. And that's why I like the Isagenix difference one so much. Has anyone seen that one before?
I watched a bunch of it once. I don't know which is which. Are they both under 3 minutes, or how long are these?
The first one is 3 minutes. Isagenix difference is 6 minutes. It's 6 minutes long, so it's kind of right at the edge of what we would show at a launch party. But it's very inspirational and upbeat, so it flows well at a launch party.
So how many videos are you encouraging us to show?
Just two. Just two.
Okay.
One after the products, one after the silly success story. You just pick which one you think matches your group best.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, after that second video, we would share our product line description from the top down. So we'd use that script that we learned last week, where we mentioned the Business Builders Pack, President's Pack, Pace Setter Pack, and 30-Day in the scripting that we've used. So they know their 4 options. And everything that we've just described, that takes about 30 minutes. So we're now going to close the room and move to the next segment of the launch party, which is some fun taste testing. But the close really matters. What you say at the end really determines how people take action immediately or not. So I have a video on my YouTube channel called Launch Party Closes. And it specifically gives you this verbiage. Many of you think that if it's good for you, it can't possibly taste great as well. Well, our stuff tastes amazing, and we've got some of it here tonight for you to taste test. Now, when you know you want to get started immediately, come back into this room, and we'll have 3 stations set up for you to decide how you want to begin. Here at this first station, we've got some enrollment forms. Please get together with the person who brought you to the launch party. They'll go through your best next steps going forward, and you'll receive your product in 3 to 4 days. Over in this station, we've got some laptops open, connected to the internet, and we can show you your own online store that's live to 1 billion people around the world, and it has your name in the address bar right beside Isagenix.com. And then finally, at this station here, for those of you who are a little ticklish about sharing your private information with a third party, we can connect you via a 3-way call with an Isagenix customer service professional, and you can give your private information directly to them. So let's test drive some of these great products, and let's get started. Now, we stop right there. At the beginning of the meeting, we'd like you to put up 3 or 4 gift bags at the front of the room, and you don't mention them till right now. And right now you say, oh, by the way, I forgot, we've set up some of these gift bags for folks tonight. We've only made 3 of them, so the first 3 people who join tonight can take one of these bags home, and in it is your first 3 days of product experience. We've got 6 shakes, a couple of bars, a couple of sticks of isodolites, and some ionics in there. So you don't have to wait for your order to come in. Those of you who join right away, take one of these bags home, and you can begin your superfood experience tomorrow. Now, we've never had anyone ever take any of those home left over. As many as they made, that many people joined. Have you guys ever done anything like that before?
No, I love that.
It really works, big time. They do a very quick taste testing, and then they zip right back in because they want whatever's in the bag. Now, you don't show what's in the bag. You say what's in the bag, and you leave it a mystery at the front of the room. Isn't that a cute idea?
How much do those bags cost the consultant, or the whatever you call them here?
Well, 6 shakes are going to be $3 each. All in, you're probably going to pay $25 or $30 each. Yep. But we're going to sign up people with Pacesetter and President's Packs and double PIBs. You're going to walk away with $100 to $160 each in double PIBs alone.
Right. So what's in them? 6 shakes?
6 shakes, 3 sticks of ionics, a couple of bars, and a couple of isodolites. Basically so they can start their program tomorrow morning. Now, what do you think happens when you give people options for how they can say yes and join?
They're deciding how rather than if.
Yes, you got it right there. You changed the question.
So if you're doing a launch party alone, you just have your phone available, your laptop available, and enrollment forms?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a ton of people here where I am.
No, I understand. And it does have to be adjusted when you do it solo. It does. Then
Okay.
hopefully the second time you'll have some associates to do it with you.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
PK, so I'm in Arizona and I'm doing this at night. There's no customer service people there, correct?
That's right. Some time zones it doesn't work.
Okay, just checking.
Yep. I wish I could convince corporate to not have customer service available in the morning because we are an evening business, but so far, no luck.
And what do you put out for samples? Or did you say that and I missed it?
No, we haven't covered that yet. We do 2 or 3 different types of shakes that they get to try in Dixie cups, not big gulps of them, just kind of sips of them. And then you can take a bar and split it down the middle and then cut it down 6 ways. So every bar can turn into 12 different samplers. So they can sample just by you putting out 4 bars. Everybody could try all 4 different flavors of the bars. We also like to give options for the Ice of the Lights as well, because there are different flavors that meet different needs when it comes to the Ice of the Lights.
PK, when 3 of us just recently joined, the advice to us was not to taste the shakes because, you know, a lot of people at first, if they've been drinking diet soda and stuff like that, don't think they're sweet enough. You don't feel that detours people?
Well, no, because we have over 40 launch parties with 100% enrollments using this method.
I have to say that I've been doing parties and they've been very successful with tasting the shakes.
Yeah. And honestly, going forward, this is the most staid kind of meeting-like party we're going to describe to you. The rest of them are all about experiencing the food. It's a party. It's not a meeting. This is as formal as we get. The other 5 are actual parties, and it's all about the eating. And they really work.
PK, I don't know if you know, but 3 of us just came from another company where that's what we did with taste testing parties of food.
Oh, cool. Oh, maybe not cool. Maybe you don't want to do this.
Well, I don't know. It's just like, so that's what we're used to, is doing taste testing parties and just doing little samples exactly like what you're talking about.
Okay.
So we're very
The Lord was just
that.
grooming us, Sharon.
What?
So the Lord was just grooming us.
I was going to say,
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, let's do a taste testing party where we can actually get paid. Yay.
There you go.
Yeah.
We're totally used to this. In fact, we did it casual enough where people sat around and we just passed a tray and they sat in the living room and tasted. So you're saying send them off to the other room.
Well, we like to switch rooms because we want them to make a decision to go taste, then a decision to come back and join instantly.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's a psychological thing we're doing to them.
Okay.
Just like giving them options for how they can join. Why? The enrollment form works fine. Yeah, and most people only use the enrollment form. Still set up the other ones. Why? Because if you give them options on how they can say yes, they're considering the options for yes, not yes or no.
Okay. That makes so much sense. Like,
well,
I
I've been
can't believe after all these years I didn't ever learn that. That is...
Well, no, but don't feel bad. I'm the only person in the world that teaches this. No one else in Isogenics teaches this concept but me.
So, PK, you said to send them to the computer, and on the computer there's, their website with their own name and all that. Well, that's not true if they haven't joined yet.
I'm sorry?
I said that doesn't make sense if they haven't joined yet. I'm confused by when you said...
But you can enroll someone live on a computer. And as soon as the enrollment goes forward, their website pops up, and they see it instantly.
You're saying, okay, I mean, I've always, that's the only way I've enrolled them is, on the computer. But you're saying once you get enrolled, then you'll see your website.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Well, yes, but some people don't want to do that. They just want to fill it in an enrollment form and go home. They don't want to see any of that. So they just fill out an enrollment form. It takes 5 minutes, and they walk out the door.
Right.
Other people would like to see, you said this was an online store. Can I see my site? Absolutely. Here, let's fill it in on the computer. Ding, there's your site. You should go home and play with it. You should tell your friends about your new store.
So if you're doing this, because, I'm like Diana, it's just me right now with a few people. But if they go to the computer and want to enroll in that, you're just doing it like you would do at home after you got the paper.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
But honestly, most people still only do the enrollment form.
Yeah, good.
We offer the options because it psychologically changes their decision process.
Okay.
Okay, that makes total sense.
Okay, yeah.
PK, I have another question.
Sure.
I know you talked about what you sample as far as the Isogenics products. Do you, because you call it a party and people come to a party, do you have like a veggie dip or something out when people come, or do you do anything else besides Isogenics products for food?
At a party, launch party, we do. At an inspirational party, we don't. We just focus because the sampling is only about 10 minutes long. At a party launch party, the whole thing's eating. So yes, we do fruit trays and veggie trays and chips and dip. and we brew the coffee. We do everything. It's a party.
So what is
But
this one called that you're teaching us?
Yes, this is the inspirational launch party. It's the longer format, 35-minute presentation, 10 minutes of taste testing, and then enrolling. Next week, we'll talk about the party launch party, which is a 10-minute presentation and 50 minutes of eating and enrolling. It's a complete flip.
But how do you
But
know,
we can't.
how do you know which one to use? Like, what's the difference?
We won't be able to get into that till next week, but I will explain it to you next week.
Okay.
Yeah. One last thing. Anyone who doesn't join the night of the party, we call them back within 72 hours with a customer service phone call asking a simple question. And the question is, so what question was it that you needed answered before you get started? And that 72-hour callback is very important. By the way, that question is on the video that I referred to on my YouTube channel, Launch Party Closes.
Will you repeat that again?
What question was it that you needed answered before you get started? What question was it that you needed answered before you get started? Because generally, people walked out of that launch party not joining for one single reason. You just want to find out what it is and answer it for them. Next week, we'll do the party launch party and all the other derivatives of that. And at the end of that, you'll really understand which one you use in each situation. Okay?
Okay.
Awesome.
Excellent. And then sorry?
Was that the one we were going to do this week?
No, it wasn't. We have to do the launch parties together. We'll do the 6 touches in the first 30 days as our last call on week 5.
Okay, cool. I just was confused about that. Okay, thanks.
No, that's no trouble at all. No trouble at all. Have an amazing week, folks. I've got to jump off and then jump back on with another Cindy team.
All right.
Dude, that was awesome.
Have a great week.
You too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.